Okay. Now this is a reply to a video response to a video Zip uploaded like over a month now, and I've gotten around to kind of thinking about it. It's how far is too far. In his video, he talks about how far is violent. How far can you go with comic book violence? And I don't know. It's a topic that goes to me sometimes, especially with that image from Siege #2, and it's on the video I know, where you see the Sentry rip Ares in half. First of all, the artist deserves a pay raise. Good lord, the detail in that is just downright horrifying. And also, it brings a question: do we need hyper-violence? Do we need everything to be like so over the top? Like, do we need to have like the entire panel sprayed with blood, bones there, guts there, head over there, while the rest of the body's in another town? Do we need that at the extreme? No, we don't. I mean, I think there are levels. And the thing is, I'm not really into violence. I just don't think violence is, I think violence is simply used for shock value now. There's no real, I mean, when you hear about violence in, say, a war, it's powerful stuff. I mean, I think in comics they do it simply because it's a shock. Like, oh my god, so and so got his head blown off. My lord, this is intense. You're just doing it to ratchet up the circumstances. I suppose that's good, but the thing is, there are some books that do it so many times to a point where it's just like, oh, that guy got killed. Oh, look, that guy got killed. Wow. So many people are going to die. The body bags, they're not body bags these people are going to have to order. It's going to be hilarious. It just seems unnecessary. Especially with, let's see, what did I read recently? I read the first issue of Nemesis. And who knows when we're getting a second issue. Anyway, read the first issue of Nemesis. And first of all, most of it's just the main character showing how awesome he is. And by that I mean, he kills a building, and you're not sure on this, but many people are led to believe that the building was like a school full of like 80 children. They don't show them getting killed on screen, but still, I mean, do we have to increase a body count to tell an extreme story? Seriously, are we in the 90s where everything has to be so extreme to a point where we see blood cells get torn in half? I don't think it's always necessary. I know they're trying to prove that they're like, oh yeah, Max, like, they do two things in Max books. They cuss a lot and they show a lot more violence. And I think they just do it just because they realize, hey, we can get away with this. In more mainstream stuff like Siege, don't get me wrong, it proves my point that stuff like that, it ratchets up what happened and it makes it pretty big. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying we need to pull back these psychotic killers and let people live. Or at least, you don't have to be action-packed and violent. I mean, I'm mostly just talking about people getting killed and stuff, and like, I mean, you can just have a normal fight, like just a straight-up fight without a single drop of blood splashed down. Or you could have like there's a lot of other ways to convey action. You don't need to have a guy get shot 50 times, which somehow he survives. Apparently they just shoot the man in the arm in the arms a bunch of times until they finally hit his chest. You don't need to do that. You could just have, you know, good old-fashioned hit and blast and all that stuff. I got nothing really more to say, because, like always, if I go on, you'll just hear me ramble, and as much as I know people love that, I'm not going to keep going. So that's all I think. Later.